What's up, guys? Doug Polk here, and today we have the official result of my $200,000 prop bet to lose half of my body fat in terms of percentage over the course of 1 year. Before we jump into that, I got some exciting news. The Lodge is launching its brand new live stream. I'm super excited about how the set came out. I'll show a couple short clips here so you can see what it looks like. We have a brand new studio ready to go, and we're kicking it off February 17th. Brad, Owen, Andrew Nemi, and myself will all be there for our kickoff 5100 game. We got a bunch of big games going on for a full week. People like Jungle, people like Mariano. We got a lot of other people coming out for this. Should be super exciting. I'm going to be there all week. If you guys want to stop by and check it out, you can do so. I'll put a link in the description below. Back to the bet. We are about to weigh in for the results of this body fat challenge. I gotta say, it was a pretty grueling, long year of diet and exercise, but I think you can pretty easily tell that some serious strides were made. This bet used DEXA scan for the results. If you're not familiar with different ways, there are a lot of different ways to scan body fat. Typically speaking, DEXA is one of the most accurate. They all have some kind of issues, but is a fairly good way to know your results, and we are about to disclose them. Before we jump into that, though, I want to explain why this was important to me. So I think a lot of people, when they see a bet like this, they think, why would you do this? Why is this important? Why does this matter? And I want to give you a little backstory on myself to kind of give you some context for why I thought this was important. When I was in middle school and high school, I was always the overweight kid. In fact, in a lot of those years, I was one of the fattest kids. I remember in 7th grade, they had the calipers and they'd pass them around so you could see your body fat, and they kind of gave you some guidelines. I remember holding it and seeing 40% fat on the caliper readings. Now, those are not super accurate. Obviously, those have a bunch of problems. But I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, wow, this is a serious problem. I wonder why I'm overweight. And the sad thing about my life when I look back as a kid and being overweight or being obese, I never even really understood why I was overweight. I didn't know that what you ate was important with how big you are. I know that sounds silly, but I didn't know that until my 20s when I realized that calories exist and calories in, calories out, and you need to burn more than you take in, all that kind of stuff. But I spent a good chunk of some of the most important years of my life very, very overweight and being made fun of for that. And so this is a really important subject to me, and I think it's why when you look at maybe some of the stuff I've said online in the past, people think, you know, maybe I'm too aggressive with saying that being fat is bad for you, but this had a real negative impact on my life. I've been overweight most of my life, and you know, this culminated about 4 or 5 years ago. I got up to about 250 pounds. You can see in some of my YouTube videos, and I got made fun of a lot in some of the comments of those videos. And it really kind of dawned on me that I'm in the prime of my life. I've never been in good shape. I've teetered on the brink of obese as an adult. It's time to reel this in. So over the last few years, I've lost a good amount of weight, but I kind of got to this plateau. So I'm 6'3", and I was 250 at my peak. I got down to like 210, 220, and I kind of just stayed there. So one day I realized, if I'm going to do this, I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm 34. If I'm going to do this, now is the time, right? Because it's only going to get harder from here. So I wanted to push myself. I wanted to commit to something huge, and I talked with Bill Perkins about it, and we agreed on a $200,000 prop bet where I have to lose half of my body fat in 1 year by percentage. Going in, my strategy was to hire a few professionals to help me. I hired a nutritionist, I hired a trainer, and I hired a chef. I made some kind of big mistakes here. I think most of the people I hired had good intentions, but the chef was more cooking to try and make things taste good. They weren't really super calorie specific. And then the nutritionist I really feel like didn't know what was going on. They were constantly telling me to eat more. And the trainer was good. I like the trainer the most of those three, but it was more of like an athletic background trainer rather than a bodybuilder background trainer, which is when you're trying to lose fat, you want something more in that vein. There was a funny moment with my nutritionist early on where I got my first results after 6 weeks of my plan, and I had gained body fat. In fact, you can see here my body fat by month. I've blurred out the results. I had gained body fat. I had gone from 27.7 to 28.1, and she was telling me how this was great. And I said, this is not great. This is actually, in fact, the opposite of great. We are gaining fat. So I think my strategy out of the gate, I maybe didn't put together the right team. And then, of course, I'm taking some responsibility myself, too. I also made a lot of mistakes there that didn't really help facilitate losing the body fat. But about 5 months in, I really kind of hit another gear. I figured out some of the things that were at play. I made sure my calories were under. I upped my cardio. My lifting was very good the whole way through. And I started to finally see some results. You could see I went from August all the way up until, let's just say a few days before this weigh-in. I lost a considerable amount of weight, 25-ish pounds or so of almost pure fat. And I actually got to 17% body fat with just 22 days to go. So going into the weigh-in, I'm 17.2% body fat. I need to get to 13.8. I don't want to get too much into the nitty gritty on what I did. However, it's a lot of the things that you guys would think. I did a lot of eating lean meats. I did a lot of small amounts of carbs like oats and rice. There's no sugars. There was not very much alcohol. There was really, really, really strict overall. I had a couple of days off for Christmas, things like that. But down the stretch, I really committed hard. And then in the last 3 weeks, I'm going to say it was pure hell. I talk with Perkins a good amount about this, and he would say constantly, it's really not that hard to do this. I'm going to disagree. This is the hardest thing I've done in my entire life. It's absurd how hungry, tired, and run down I was. Now, if you're familiar with some of the stuff I've posted, I also had a child recently, Otis. He's now 3 weeks old. So that, of course, also played a big role here. And then if you're familiar with Austin, we had a huge ice storm. Power went out. I was staying at a hotel with a newborn baby, trying to run on the treadmill while I ate nothing. It was brutal, 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 brutal stuff. But this all leads up to the weigh-in, and we have that film for you. So here you go, the results of the $200,000 body fat challenge. Here we go.
What's up, guys?
It's Judgment Day.
The walk-up.
Oh, Jesus.
The official third-party weigh-in location. I don't even know what this machine is.
Texas scan.
And
I've done so many of these.
Look at the stress.
looks like our date of birth is 12/16/88.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So you're saying it's almost that time?
It is. We're almost there. The big reveal.
I'm like shaking. I've been working on this for a year.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Believe.
Yeah, so it's too late to doubt yourself now. you gotta have faith.
All right, what do we got?
We're sitting at
Oh my God.
all these loading screens. Dun dun dun. 3, 2, 1. 15%. We're 2% off.
We lost.
I'll get this printed out. We'll go over it real quick.
Fuck.
Congratulations, Bill.
God fucking damn it.
We'll see you at the lodge in a couple days, Bill, to collect the disappointment.
Didn't hit your goal, but I'll tell you, you're looking really good. You're lean. You're looking excellent. How do you feel with that low body fat?
Pretty shitty, I would say right now, yeah.
It's hard to get there, and it's even harder to maintain, I'll tell you that.
Brutal.
It was a good effort.
It was a good effort.
But your progress was excellent since December.
Well,
You
yeah,
went down
yeah.
5% in just a little over a month and a half. You're at 192 even as far as your weight. Fat tissue in pounds, 29.1. Lean muscle mass is 155.5.
It's a tough pill to swallow, getting so close and not ending up actually making it. I am a little bit thankful that I lost by 1.3% body fat, or what would be something like 2 pounds. God, that sounds like so little weight. Maybe I'm not thankful for that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But I'm glad I didn't lose by 0.1 or 0.2%. I kept having this nightmare scenario in my mind as I was doing all of my cardio down the stretch. What if I lose by 100 calories? And that just drove me to go further and further and further and further. But the problem is, no matter how hard you go, you might still be 100 calories short. So I guess I'm kind of glad I didn't just lose in a way where I could have just run for 10 more minutes before I went and would have not lost or something like that, or an hour or whatever it would have been. But it's bittersweet. You know, on one hand, obviously I lose a lot of money with this, but I'm very proud of myself and how hard I worked and the results and the opportunity to finally push myself through my comfort zone and trying to fix a problem I've had in my life for a long time. And also now being a new dad, I'm just happy that I'm going to get more time and ability to be with my son and to hopefully live a long time and do all kinds of father-son activities and not be bogged down by not being able to keep up as I get older. You know, health's important, guys. I think it's really difficult to keep your health totally in check. I've got a lot of respect for people that do it through their jobs and their families and all this stuff. I had to make this a real priority and sacrifice some things and the focus on some things that, you know, maybe that's a luxury you don't get if you have a full-time 9-to-5 job. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity that I got. Sucks I lost. I hate losing. It's not just the money. It might not even be the money at all. I've lost plenty of money. I just hate losing, you know, but gave my best. Anyway, guys, I will see you at the Lodge live stream launch. Hope you enjoyed this results video and my pain and suffering. I'll see you again soon. Peace.